Okay. I wanted to get on. I probably should have gotten on a few hours ago, but there's nothing I want to play right now. I don't feel like doing more of that house or any of the houses. I don't feel like playing Skyrim. I just don't feel like doing anything. Today kind of sucked. Not really, but I had to, I spent like close to $1,000 just because food, bills, everything just dropped today. And it's kind of like, well, shit. Well, okay, maybe not 1,000, but a lot more than I wanted to. I'll say that. But I've decided just to do something. I'm going to build a bedroom with possibly a bathroom attached. And I have, it's going to be a bedroom for 2 characters. I have them in mind. And maybe you will figure it out. But let's just get started. Okay, so trying to think, what would the best? I don't want to do just a plain box, so it's just a bedroom. Let me. I want it to be somewhat large. Would that be... Yeah, I think so. Alright, so... I'm gonna take that. I can always make it just bigger in general after this section. So this morning I was doing, I wanted to make my mom proud, and I went through all of the ads, looked at all the stuff, and I was like, oh, I can get this here for that, this for that, and all that stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna leave at I'm gonna leave at 1 to do grocery shopping, or 1 or 12, whatever. Don't want it to be... That's an interesting shape, right? For a bedroom? I think so. Although it might make it a little hard for platforms. I do want to put some platforms in this. I'll just keep that there for now. So that was my plan. And then 2:30, and also because I just wanted to do shopping before before any school got out. Because around here, high schools get out at 2. And then it goes, middle, whatever. And then suddenly, actually, I might make this a smidge bigger, because I forgot I have to have a step right there, and I want to use that. Yeah. Then suddenly, it's 2:30, and I'm on the phone with somebody, and I am trying my hardest not to just fall asleep. Okay. So, and it was one of the things where I had to decide, do I want to actually go out and do this, because if I don't, there we go. I gotta try tomorrow, but I don't have any, I'm out of food, like fully out of food right now. Well, I mean, like, I have like, frozen, like, meat in the, but like that takes, I like food for right now, and plus like, eggs, the normal grocery stuff you need. So I was like, no, let me go out, let me do it now and get it over with so I can actually have stuff to live. Alright, so here is the bedroom. Not too bad. Honestly, I could probably fit another thing in here, but I do want this to be kind of like a nice room for them. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Light. Probably need that. So I go out. I stop at Dunkin' real fast to get a coffee just so I can have something. My go-to coffee is now basically Dunkin's like iced coffee, blueberry, the blueberry flavoring, with sugar, cream sometimes. I should probably start getting skim milk though. And then usually I go with a large because I like big drinks. Huh. Okay. All right. So for the most part, this place has to look industrial, but and then I have to kind of fix that with all the decorations that the people put in. You know what I mean? I think I don't know, I really like this floor. Oh, that's weird. Why is it like that? Whatever. And like I said, my original plan was go someplace, and I was gonna go to 4 stops pretty much. I was gonna go to ShopRite, which is like, in my area, it's like the HEB or the pubs, I think, or whatever. I forget what's the one they have in like Florida. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Food. That's like our Food Lion, whatever. Gonna go there. Gonna go to Acme, which I don't know if that's is that countrywide Acme, or is that just East Coast? Whatever. I think you right there. Target and then Walmart. No matter what happened, I had to go to. Actually, I had to go to Target because that's the only place that carries the dog food I get, or my mom used to get, whatever. I went to Target, and I went to ShopRite, and every other place I was just like, I don't care anymore. I just want to get my stuff and go, and that's what I pretty much did. And I have to remember, I have to tell myself, hey, because how I do food shopping now is like, I did food shopping today, and most likely I won't have to do any more food shopping for like 2 to 3 weeks. And then if, once in a while, if I get like McDonald's for dinner, or like I get, something that adds like, so like, I can easily go for like 3 weeks. And it's like I paid all together with all the dog food and everything, like $260-ish, which I mean, to me, it's like, oh my God, I am like, what am I doing? I spent so much money. But then I'm like, no, you didn't spend that much money because this is going to last you for a while. And, you know, you can't be so hard on yourself because you're allowed, you know, I got myself like 2 bags of like popcorn. And like, I'm thinking to myself, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be getting this. But it's like, you know, you could treat yourself. What am I looking for? Oh, this stuff. Okay. And it's like, you know, I really do hate to go shopping at this point because for the longest time I was always with somebody. And, you know, it was always fun just to be out. But now I'm kind of doing it alone. And I see people and I see like, you know, I was in line, which I understand why I have to do it now. But I hate the fact that I have to go in a line and get checked out by a person. I'm not. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, if there's a few bad people, so the whole class has to get punished for it. And I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't steal. So it's like, why do I have to deal with this? Like, let me, you know, be a mess by myself at the self-checkout and like go at my own pace and like, you know, be afraid that, you know, I'm holding somebody up or, you know, I don't know. And then it's like I get the food and I'm like going home and I'm thinking to myself, I should stop somewhere to get food. Like, you know, it's like actual food, but I'm like, no, I just bought food. And it's like that weird thing where it's like, I have this food in this house, but I'm like, I'll go to Wawa tonight. It's like, no, you don't need to do that. You have food here. You got, I mean, I can, you know, if I want to, I can make burgers and fries here, which I got Bubba burgers again. I got the sweet onion this time. Go see how that tastes. And I got sweet potato fries, which are good. All right. I'm trying to think about the wall color, but I think I'm gonna do that last. Yeah, let's just. So there's gonna be one side of the room, another side of the room, and I guess like the middle hangout spot, which I mean, I guess I could have made smaller. Because we have this. Would that look dumb though? I mean, there has to be at least a 2. Actually, yeah. Let me put a doorway, just so I have some kind of frame of reference. Not that. So yeah. So I went to ShopRite, got all my food, and then I went to door. Then I went to Target. I was just kind of going around. I guess I looked a little bit. Which I noticed Target has a very distinct smell to it. I don't know if anybody else has ever noticed that. Like, I don't notice it anywhere else. Like, ShopRite, Acme, Walmart, they kind of don't have any smell to it, but Target does. It's not a bad smell, but it's just like a distinct smell. Like, my elementary school had the same thing with their like the cafeteria. I don't think it was. I mean, I've been in a few elementary schools in my, you know, youth, but like that one in particular, it just like I can remember the smell. You know what I mean? What would be a good? Ew. Oh, goodness. I can't, do we have a smaller, you see, if I didn't have, because whenever I build something, I always build it in a, like, oh, I'm going to be using this to, I'm going to upload it eventually. Oh, not really. I would love to have, like, this, but, like, smaller. I guess I can use this. I kind of wish it was like a this version of that. But that's fine, I guess. And then I'm gonna bring the stuff in. I'll try to, so I can actually make this work. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So I went there, and you know, like, I usually check like menswear, see if they have anything cool. I will say so far, I've gotten the most comfortable jeans at Target. So not the cheapest, but comfortable for sure. So good for them. Checked electronics, obviously, and I checked toys, and I was surprised with just how much, like, cool stuff they had. I'm like, oh, this is, if I was a kid, this would rock. Okay, here we go. That looks a little better, I think. I'm gonna keep this, and I'll do something with this. I don't wanna, well, maybe not, but all right. And then obviously these are gonna be closets. So, speaking of closets, we need. I know they got the new one in the Love Struck, which I don't know why I haven't gotten yet. I'm gonna get it eventually. We need more. I don't think we need more closets like this. Like, I would like to have like this closet, but it looks like, because I mean, this one here looks more like a normal closet you would see, but I want it like in this size. So I will. Oh no! Wait, can I not? Really? You can't? I thought you could. Really? You can't. Oh. That's weird. I didn't know that. You can't put this on half things, can you? I thought you could. Wow, okay. I don't know what to do with this information now, because it kind of messes that up. I wonder if they know that. Because if I can place a let's do that. If I can alt place a door, I should be able to alt place those. But whatever. Okay. So I guess we will go down, and we will. So whatever color goes out first, we will do that. Oh, red. Okay. Gonna do the red side. Oh crap! I don't know what to do. What kind of bed would this person? They would definitely have like this kind of bed, I think, but I don't. Oh well, I guess this. That looks so small though. Oh, oopsie. That's dumb. Me. Oh goodness. I made a little bit challenging here, but that's okay. Who doesn't love a good challenge? Um, I don't. I'll come back. I don't think there's any other like. Cause I'm gonna put seating here. So I don't think there's anything there I really want. So let me ask you all a question. To the is anybody even watching this? I don't even know. But if you're watching this on YouTube or whatever, or wherever you're watching this, is there any song that you know is technically, or not very, or not even technically, very, that is problematic, but it's just like such a good song that you can't help yourself to listen to it, and you wouldn't like, you're not gonna play it in public, but it's in your playlist, and when you're alone, you jam to that thing. Because I was listening to music in a car, and I came across kind of a few of those. I was like, and it's one of those things where like some of them I knew, but other ones I was like shocked that it's like, oh wait, that's what this is. Because sometimes you don't really listen to this stuff, and like, while you're at a red light, you kind of you pay more attention, I guess. I was like, oh, like there's this one song that is like, it sounds like the 80s. It's like an 80s ballad. It's called Into the Night. And like, it's just like man who's like, he's like probably, he sounds like he's in the 30s or something. He's an adult, fully adult person. And the first line was like, she's just 16 years old. And it just talks about like, and I'm just like, oh my God, why are we talking about this? This could be any other subject matter, and it sucks because like, it is such a good song. Like the instrumentals, like everything, it is like it was made to be a successful song, and then just like that knife of like the subject matter. I don't think they would have a sync in their part of the thing. Alright, so it's a shame. If I had Love Struck, I would be able to put a lot more on this side, because I don't think there's much I can do here with the size I have. And obviously I can oop. There we go. Alright, so I know it's technically not, I don't think they can use that, but it's a good place to put it. But there's a lot of, I mean, like, there's so much music out there, and just think to yourself, like, there's so much music you're never gonna hear, and there's so much music lost to time. And like, there's so much music that you don't realize where it comes from, and like the kind of like, it doesn't always come from like a place of just, oh, I want to spread love and joy and like that kind of stuff. Like, I think it's not, is it the, like the I think the Mr. Frosty jingle, like if you look up where that came from, I mean, I'm not gonna say it here. It's you know, but it's just like wild how that stuff works, and just like how much stuff you're going to. Well, this person would not have any plans, to be honest here. Or maybe they would. I don't know. Huh. Didn't know they had that. That's cool. I will say, like, I am somebody I am pretty fascinated with, I guess, like, the darker side of history. Ooh. Oh, see, I would love to have just that. That would look cool. I'll see how that looks for now. I'll keep that there for now. And you know, like you learn about some stuff, but then other stuff is like you kind of have to seek out. And even then, was just what I don't want to say, like, I guess what is censored or what is like some stuff is harder to find other stuff. And like one of my favorite topics, and I always wanted to learn in school, but we just never could. We never got there in time, or like I don't know how it is these days, but like back in the day, it was always like, oh nope, come on, there we go. I mean, right there. Back in the day, like each school year, we pretty much started out at the same spot, so it'd always be like the starting of America, and then we would get like somewhere in this like Civil War area or like afterwards, and then like we wouldn't really, and then like it would just start over again. So it's, you know, but like I like learning about. Like, I always wanted to learn, like, in school, we kind of have to, like, pay attention. Because nowadays, I can look that stuff up. But I don't have to pay attention, if that makes sense. Like, I get very, oh, that's... that shouldn't be like that. I don't know. It's kind of like my attention span. Like I would like, you know, the Black Death, or like, you know, because I mean we do learn about other stuff. Obviously, you know, Black History Month, we learned about like Martin Luther King and all the stuff that happened down south. And even then, it's like, you know, it's like they didn't want the teachers, and I guess the school didn't want to pull any punches and, you know, tell us, hey, this is how it really happened. But then you notice, or like you learn later, it's like, no, they still kind of did, because, you know, there's the more like, quote unquote, like gruesome facts. That they kind of say, but you can get a lot more. How do I say this? God, there's nothing here. Oh my goodness. Or like it's if you look it up yourself, because they're not going to show it in school. You get a lot better of a picture. Like, you know, in school they taught you about lynchings and stuff like that. But they're not going to really show you unless it's like the school assembly where they want to show you like the shocking like documentary, and it's on there for a second when they do like the montage of all the like the crazy stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? That like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Huh. Okay. And you know, like these days, it's like you can literally find anything online. And it's like that. And it's like, you know, I wanted to learn about the Holocaust. I wanted to learn about like just like the dark parts in our and like just the world history that no one seems to. I mean, people talk about it, but I wanted to learn about it in school. I wanted to go into like history and see like the giant TV there and know that we're going to watch a like a documentary about, you know, something horrific that, you know, everybody in the class is like, oh cool, it's a free period, we don't have to do anything, and all expecting to like just talk amongst themselves and not pay attention, but then the material on the screen is like, you know, not pulling any shit, and like, you know, it's kind of giving actually, and it's like, what am I trying to look for? I don't know. I don't know. This is not going as well as I thought it would. Like, there really isn't anything I can use for this side. Now, this side I have a lot to use, but this side not so much. Nah, I'm gonna switch to something else, I think. Because everyone's gonna be very lopsided, and I can't really have that. So I guess on the topic, so we're kind of talking about documentaries. Let's talk about documentaries. I have seen a few. I mean, like, if you don't count the ones in school you're kind of forced to watch, I watched a few. I don't. Let's do that. I think that should be. Let's do one more just to help a little bit. Okay. There's this. If you ever watched American Horror Story, I don't like that one. If you ever watched American Horror Story, Asylum, the whole, like, I guess the whole plot is Lana Winters has she goes in, she's like a reporter, and she wants to do like an expose thing on Briarcliff, which, if you don't know, is based on just like all that stuff that they showed, besides like the aliens and like that kind of stuff. All that stuff is like, you know, that stuff kind of did happen back in the day. Is that? And I can't remember the name of it, but there is a documentary that's kind of like in the same mannerisms of what they did there in American Horror Story, where they go to a psych hospital or whatever, like a mental ward or whatever they called it back then, technically, and they just like expose it, and it's really just like shocking. So there's that. I've watched The Queen before, which is if you ever watch Drag Race, the queen stars Crystal LaBeija. That's who Aja played in Snatch Game. Is that that? Okay, there we go. And also, she's now like a part of that actual house. So. Okay, there we go. And it's like done in the, I think like the 60s or 70s. It was early. It's an older film, and like just how they talk, and just like you look at Crystal LaBeija, and I mean, she does. I mean, she looks like Aja, or like vice versa. You know what I mean? Because I mean, obviously Crystal came first, and she looks that good. And then like you read into it, and you see other pictures of her, and then you realize, you know, just how much Crystal had to do, and like how much she had to like lighten her skin with makeup to be like accepted, and just what the drag scene was at the time, and like especially the drag pageant scene. And just how, like, vicious it was. It still is to some degree, but there's a difference. And then let me see what else. One of my favorites is Paris is Burning. That is a great documentary, which you can find free on YouTube, and you can even find the deleted scenes, which is like 2 extra hours of content. And if you watch Drag Race, you need to watch Paris is Burning. It's literally like the footprint of like all the catchphrases, and it really is so important. I will say though, one gripe I have is like it's a bit too long. Like near the end, like the last half an hour is just, I mean, it's like the wrapping up part of it, but it's just kind of boring. Like I wanted to learn about like all the characters and stuff. I love all the characters. You learn about them, the struggles, and it's just like, and you see like a glimpse of New York in like the 80s. And to me, I always found that super fascinating. Just like New York in the 70s and 80s, when it's like, it was just a violent, dark city. And like, I guess these days it is too, but in a different, almost non-adventurous way, if that makes sense. Ooh, that's ugly. Let's use that. Actually, I'm gonna just, because I'm building a basement. Obviously, it's upstairs right now, but you know, I'll move it down. And just so I can use that, because I know I'm gonna use that stuff. And then my other, I'm trying to think of any other like documentaries. There has to be. Put that right there. Oh no, why is it doing this to me? There we go, okay. Is there any? I don't think there is. Oh, besides The Last Days of Left Eye, which is a documentary of like, obviously, the last days of Left Eye Lopez, who was in the group TLC. And the first time I saw that was at the near the end, where I think I was just like flipping through the channel, and I saw like, because they were filming, and she passed away in a car crash, and they show like, you know, she's filming in like the thing, and they show like the swerve or you hear something, and then like the camera kind of like cuts and freezes, and then like it goes to black. And I was like, what is this? Then like I looked, and I like luckily it was on the next day, so I recorded it and I watched it. I was like, oh. And you know, like I was I was too young to really listen to TLC when they were like big. So that kind of like made me go back and actually listen to their stuff, because I was just curious. And I mean, I don't think I have to like say, you know, their stuff is pretty good. It's pretty good. Take that. Why is it okay? Why is it doing this to me? Oh, weird. I don't feel like starting and stopping the thing. But I think in terms of documentaries, I guess that's it. I know I've seen other ones. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember them. Now I know I've talked about movies before, but let's talk about like, I guess, one-off movies. I think you should be fine. Like, there's a few movies that, you know, they're part of like I guess, some of them are part of the cultural zeitgeist, some aren't. I've talked about, like, say, Hunger Games, I think, maybe. I talked a lot about Harry Potter, obviously. Twilight. I have seen I have seen all the Narnia movies, which I will say the movies is a rare instance where the movie is better than the book. The Narnia books are so boring to me and just bland. I know they're written in a different time, but that's no excuse for just how like, why is this so, like, just, I can't get through it. And there's 7 of them. But I guess we want to rank them. The second movie is my favorite, Prince Caspian, because I think it's technically the darkest too. It's just, you know, I just like it. I'm gonna change that. Ugh. There we go. Then the first one, and then the third one. And it is a shame they never really got, they were never really able to add more to it. Like, I would have loved to see, like, them do the other stories as well. But, you know, they kind of, the kids were getting older at that point, and they really couldn't do, and, like, unlike other stuff, Narnia, they do switch. Because in the last one, Don Treader or whatever it's called, Peter and Susan weren't in it. It was just Edmund and Lucy. And then in the next, and then with their cousin, whatever his name is. And then in the next one, and at the end, like, Aslan is like, hey, you guys are too old for this. You can't come back. And then the next one, it's, what is it? What is that, their cousin's name? It was him and somebody else who showed up. So if I remember correctly, We have the magician's nephew, which is the uncle that they go stay with. In like the Lion Witch in a wardrobe. That's him going there. And then you have here we go. And then you have Lion Witch in a wardrobe, which everybody knows. And then you have the magic. Oh no, I think the magic priest first, and then wait, no. Magician's nephew's first one. Lion Witch in a wardrobe, second one. A Horse and His Boy is the third one. That one is garbage. I hated that one. And that takes place during, like... Sorry. That takes place during the reign of, like, Edmund, Lucy, and all, like, that, when they're, like, actual kings and queens and everything. And then after that one is Prince Caspian. Then I think Voyage of the Dawn Threader. Which I never really got if I said that right. Then the Silver Chair, which at that point is not none of the I forget their last name. The kids, like Lucy and all them. None of them are even in it. And then the last one is the silver, like the final battle, or like the last battle, or whatever. And I do know that it's all an allegory for Christianity and all that stuff, or allegory, whatever you want to call it. And in the last one, they all have to come. They all go back for something, and I'm assuming it's for a battle. I can't tell you for the life of me. The only thing I remember from that book is the fact that Susan did not go back. And she was like, "Oh, isn't that cute? The games we used to play, like thinking it was a bit pretense." Oh, sorry about that. And that pissed me off so much, because I understand some people stop believing, or they never believed, or whatever. But it's like, bitch, you were there. It's kind of like, God Himself coming down here and taking you to heaven. And you see all your dead relatives, and you see it for a fact, and you have undeniable proof. And it's not like you're there for 2 seconds. Susan, she lived an entire life there. She was old by the time she got sent back. And it's like, the fun games you guys played. What are you talking about? Like, girl, you ruled a country. That's not. It's not. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Like, I hope, like, they didn't show it, obviously, or they didn't type it out, but I hope, like, the other, like, siblings just looked at her and like, are you stupid? But yeah, as far as like gods go, because I don't know how you say that. I think Aslan is probably like one of the best like portrayals of God. I definitely think that. He's just neat. He's just neat. Ooh, So let's talk about actual. Okay, so let's talk about books for a little bit. Let's just talk about that kind of stuff. Books and movies, movies and books. So there was these two. There was these three books that are at least. I really need to start rehearsing my monologues. That's cute. I think that's everything. I think. Okay. So, when I was a child, you know, some people had Berenstain Bears. Some people had Arthur. I had some of those. My thing in my existence was little critter books. I had so many of those books. I think I had like over like maybe like 50. There's even that many. I just love them. And then, you know, as you get older, besides the books you had to read at school, which I remember, The Giver, which I liked the first part of it, I think, but then the second part I just didn't care for. We had to read The Outsiders, which it was okay. Staying Fat for Sarah Burns. That's a good movie. That's a good book. What other ones? Oh, there was a series of books, but I can't remember what they're called. It was like this kid, like his grandfather had some kind of contraption where if you had like a picture, you would touch like something on like the contraption has like a little like pointer thing. You would touch it to the picture, and the people like if you had the contraption on you, I think it was like a backpack, and somebody's like holding on to you, you both would be teleported like to the time of that picture in like that location. And I think they're just called like the blank 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 disaster, because it was a different disaster. And like one they went to the Mount St. Helens one, and they kept on trying to like, you know, they would try to save somebody, and then like they wouldn't be able to do it, and they would almost die, and they would have to go back like a few times, and before they kind of just give up. Well, not give up, but there would be some kind of like resolution, obviously. But there was that Mount St. Helens, the James or Jonestown flood, where they try to save like, I think like their grandmother's friend or something like that. And it's like these kids are like 11 or 12, and this seems like something that they would make a movie out of. But then you kind of read it, and it's like, oh no, these kids are like, they're trapped in like an attic, and they're drowning. It's a little heavy, I guess. But they were good books. I said, really? I'm gonna put that somewhere, but I don't know where yet. Put it there now. Maniac McGee. That's a good. I love that book, and Nickelodeon even did a movie from that, which I think it's like the first time. I forget his Daniel something. The guy who played Ned in Ned Declassified, like he was Maniac. Or whatever his name is, actually in that movie. And it was a good movie too. Like they talked about like, you know, race. It was back in the time where they weren't as afraid, or it was. I mean, they're talking about like more heavy materials, but it wasn't like shoved in your face, if that makes sense. Where like today, I feel like it's all a little performative. It's clipping a little bit, whatever. Or back then, it felt a little more natural when they talked about that stuff. Getting older. Let me see. Oh, I had to watch the movie 13 at least like 3 times in high school. That movie. I mean, I get what that movie is, but that movie is so bad. It's just garbage. And I don't understand. I don't condone violence, but I don't understand why at any point of that movie did that girl, whatever her name was, didn't just get like the shit kicked out of her. Like, she needed a wake up call, and she never really got it. I mean, at the end, like, they kind of had like that weird intervention thing where she kind of like broke down, but it's like, no, like, I don't know. It wasn't a good movie. It wasn't. Yeah, going back, because I went to private Christian school from 2nd to 4th grade, so there were some movies there. There's only 2 I remember seeing though. There's one where there was this girl who was like super poor, and she was like the bad girl or something, and she didn't care about God. And oddly enough, there was a girl in my class who looked just like her, and it was like, oh, they were both going through the exact same thing. It was wild. And mind you, like, the movie was like at least like 5 or 10 years old by the time I saw it, so it wasn't the same person, obviously, but the resemblance was uncanny. And she was just like that brat, like, no one cares about me, like that's that kind of stuff. And all I remember is at the very end, like, they had such as, like, it was supposed to be like a very touching moment, which I guess it was. And she was in church, and they were passing around the collection, and at the start of the movie, they show her like taking from the collection and stuff. But this time, she put money in, and it was like, oh, she learned. And another one was, and it's probably the greatest thing I've ever seen. Some kid, and like, this kid was like maybe like 10, 11. It was with this other kid who was like probably like 5 or 6. And the 10 and 11-year-old, the older kid was like just jealous, or just like, or he was just having, he wasn't having a good day. And he literally just pushes the other kid, the smaller kid, off a cliff. And you see the kid fall. And they don't show you the cliff, because obviously they can't do that, because it's just, on a budget. But it seems like a pretty decent fall. And they show the kid, like, just, like, lying there afterwards. And the other kid runs away, and, like, all the town is like, oh no, and, like, trying to search for him. And obviously I didn't retain much of it, but eventually the kid just kind of shows up, and he has a limp, and it's like, they asked the older kid, like, I guess they all find out. They asked the older kid, well, did you ask God for forgiveness for like pretty much attempted murder? It was like, yes. And they're like, okay. And then like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's talk about my time in private Christian school, because in ways it helped, but in many ways it did not. So I went to public school, kindergarten and 1st grade, and in 1st grade I was a little ass. I was always in the principal's office. I was always acting up. My parents were always getting calls. I even did something which, like, I wanted to be a cool kid, but I knew my parents wouldn't let me. So I would eat my lunch during snack time. And then when I would go to lunch, I would get into the lunch line and I would borrow lunch, which, you know, you just had to pay back later. And I did that like a lot. I forget how much. I remember I got a note and I looked at it. And it's like I owed the cafeteria, I owed like the school like 200. To me, as a first grader, it looked like it said like $218 or something. But back then, I'm pretty sure it was just like $21. It wasn't. Only did like 5 times, so there's no way it would have been that much. Today maybe, but back then no. And I hid that, and I just never paid it, and eventually it just stopped coming. So I just assumed that my parents kind of found out, but they just didn't say anything, and they just kind of like you know, it was one of the things where they just kind of let me get away with it. Later, I found out when I talked to my mom about it, she was like, I didn't know about this. I never was told. So I was like, oh, okay. So I guess technically I still owe elementary school like $22. Sorry, guys. You ain't getting it. But my parents wanted... they always told me... Because they didn't really... I mean, they knew I was a little bit of a troublemaker, but I don't think they knew the full extent of just what kind of person I was. I was really mean. Like, I was making fun of, like, kids' parent. Like, there was one kid in the, like, you know, and I'm pretty sure their mom was a sweet, sweet woman. But I was making fun of their mom on the bus because she was fat. You know, I was a little dick. And then I had this one friend, it was super weird. And looking back, I don't know what kind of, like, what he was dealing with. But he would come over after before school and like a little bit after school, like, because his mom had to like work, and he was like super fun after school. But before, he was just like nasty, like just like. There was so much venom and stuff, and like he hated everyone. He hated everything, and you know, like I'm still trying to be friendly and stuff, obviously. But it was like he, you know, obviously, especially back then, you know, like kids didn't really curse. But if he could curse, if he knew curse words, he would have cursed me out so many times. And we got into a lot of fights because I'm like, hey, just because you're having a shit day, don't take it out on me. It's not my fault. Your life sucks. Is that mold? I think it is. Let's add it. But if I had I do have tool, but I don't feel like using it. I'll put it like on this thing. I'll put it right here. And I don't know, it's just, and there's the other parts where it's like, I don't know, I was just like, I was a bully. I was. I can't really deny that. I want to add more stuff here. You know, it'd be really cool if we had like a retro like gaming console. We have like these newer ones that just don't add to it. You know what I mean? So anyway, my parents put me in a private school, and they said they said later it was just like they just wanted me to have like a better influence. Now there were some issues with that. I was a new kid. And most of these kids, because this school was a pre-K to 12th grade, so most of these kids knew each other from like pre-K. So I was like the new kids. I was already outsider. And there was a lot of stuff I didn't know that it's like I got in trouble for it. like for instance, you know, and on the front of our desk we had like little hands that we made, and we had our names on them. And then slowly, like the fingers would all be bent and like ripped off and stuff, and eventually mine went to like, you know, basically just the middle finger was up, and you know it's in the front of my desk. I don't know, I don't see it, and the teacher like pulls me out, and she starts yelling at me. She's like, "Do you, you know, like, do you know why, you know, oh, it's like, do you know why this is bad?" And blah 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 blah. And I'm like, no. And you know, as a kid, I think you always go through like a crying phase where you just like, oh my god, I'm being yelled at, I did something wrong. So like I was like crying, and she wrote a note saying like, you know, oh, this happened, and it's like, lady, it's like I'm like 7 years old. I don't know about this stuff. You have to like, you know, you have to teach me, and you know, not be a cunt while you're doing it. Like looking back, I did not like that teacher. She did one cool thing where right before Thanksgiving, she and like the homeroom moms, which my mom was the homeroom mom like for a lot of my like elementary school years. They made a full on Thanksgiving dinner, like down to like the detail. It was pretty cool. I like this, but I just wish there was like a, oh well, you know, it has a Nawu right there, whatever. That's fine. And like, you know, back in that was probably like the height of my Power Rangers love, and there was just one episode of Mighty Morphin where Billy has to fight this like opera looking like monster. Her name was Madame Woe, and I just thought she was the coolest looking monster. Just like, I just loved how she looked, so I would draw her, and basically her entire look was like a Viking helmet, blue, like long blue braids, and then like a pretty featureless face with red lips and like a blue diamond in the middle of her forehead. That's all. And my mom told me this later because I was still too young, and I'm pretty sure they never said anything to it. Or I don't remember. But my mom was like, your teacher one time wrote us, and it was like, you have to watch out, you should watch out for your kid. Like basically alluding to the fact, because I was drawing such like quote unquote disturbing imagery, that I was going to shoot up to school one day. Which, joke's on them. I hate interaction of any kind, and now to be interacting with people. So I never did that. And it's just like, lady, fuck off. There was this one, I think it was second or fourth grade? I don't remember. It might have been, because how the school worked was, there was a school building which actually had like the gymnasium, the cafeteria, which the cafeteria was just like the entrance to the school. It was kind of funny. And then like there was on the other building was the church, and then in the basement was pre-K through second grade. So like my first year there, I was always in the basement, which I low-key kind of liked. It was kind of fun. Like there was some fun stuff about that place. Like also until you went to third grade, you went to another field for playground, and they had like, I don't know why they did it, but good for them. They must have spent like close to $50,000 on playground equipment. They had like 5 different slides, a bunch of swings, seesaws, there's so much stuff. And it was just, I loved it. It was so fun. They had like one of those like Noah's Ark playground things. That was fun. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here I want to use. I don't think so. Ooh, this looks like something you were seeing. Not what this well preserved. That's something you definitely see in somebody's basement. Yeah, I'll keep it like that, I guess. Third grade, I had the teacher with the nickname, and like, you know, it was back in those times where, like, you know, which pretty much meant that they were going to be really strict. And this was the only teacher I remember my parents not liking, and it wasn't because she was strict, but it was because she kind of had this lesson where she told somebody, or she told the class, like, hey, if you ever see your friend doing something bad, no matter what it is, you need to tell on them. And, you know, my parents, who are goody goodies, did not like that, because they're like, there's some circumstances where where like, that would be very dangerous. Because, you know, like, there's like, there's a saying goes, you know, stitches get stitches, but there's like a time and a place in this context. And they just didn't like her, which I always found kind of funny. Also, during third grade, there was I got in trouble a lot because I kept on doing stuff in the bathroom. Nothing like bad, but like, you know, I would be like just like horsing around with other, like, you know, kids, or like crawling under the stalls, or just, you know, that kind of stuff. Look at the decorations, actually. And third grade is to start with the headaches, but I'll get into that in a second. Because the main thing that happened during third grade was, it was right after winter break, Christmas break, more like it, which this place, I forget what it was called, like, I think it's called like the Christmas auction. I forget what it was called exactly. But each year for like a week, the gymnasium would be turned to like this giant Christmas village with like this like 30-foot tree, and it would be all these crafters and vendors there, and there would be like just selling stuff, and there would be like people there, and it was like the thing I looked forward to the most every year. I just loved it. It was so fun. But then the like after Christmas break, we had like an unusually warm few days, and this was like back in like, you know, like the this was 2002, yeah, because I remember I was in third grade when 9/11 happened. You know, like these days, it could be like January. Like last year, I was wearing shorts, like pretty much the entire year, because it was just warm. Or you know, I'm also fat, so I get hot easy. But we were outside, we were just playing in the you know, it was recess. And I was, you know, I guess I was trying to be like a goofball or whatever. I wish this wasn't so low. Why is that so low? I don't know. And I didn't like wearing hats at the time, so just to, you know, as a compromise, I wore one of those like headbands, like the, you know, like the ear warmer things. So I had that on, and I decided to chase somebody with the headband almost covering like all my my eyes, where I could just see a little bit out the bottom, so I could see where my feet went. Apparently, you need more sight to see your feet, because I decided to run up the bleachers, the metal bleachers, and I tripped and I fell, and I landed right on my teeth, and it was just like a loud like ding out of nowhere, and it didn't hurt, but it was one of those things where like you get up and like you feel fine, and then like somebody's like, "Oh my God, you're bleeding," and then I like touch my mouth, and I'm just blood everywhere, and then I start freaking out because you know a kid, that's what a kid does. Which, by the way, when I stop playing, I'm literally just talking with my hands, like you guys can see me. So I apologize for that. So the teacher's like, go to the nurse. Or like somebody, I think somebody takes me to the nurse. I think there was like an older kid who took me. No, actually I went myself. I went to the bathroom first because there's a bathroom right in the front of the school. I look and I'm like, oh, that's bad. Basically how it looked, and I had buck teeth. I was going through it. My two front teeth, it was like just like a pie slice came out of like the middle. It almost looked like I had like vampire fangs. So I lost like probably like, I mean, like they just cut each like two front teeth, I don't know, like cut them like diagonally, and that's what I lost. And I remember like some older kid. The older kid saw me there, and it was like I said, there was a lot of blood, so they took me down to the nurse's office. And I was there for a little bit, and then my mom got me, and she was like, "Oh Jesus." I went to the dentist because I obviously had to. First trip of many things. Just to give a little future story. I had braces from I got them near the end of third grade, or was it either third grade or the very start of fourth grade? And I didn't get them off until almost the last month of 10th grade. So yeah. And my teeth weren't even that bad, to be honest. Were they? I don't. I guess I had some bad buck teeth, but I don't know. I feel like I was a little gypped there now thinking about it. Anyway, so I go there. I get the bonding, and it was the first time I think I experienced laughing gas, which to this day, it's lovely. It is so fun. And I went home, and I think I didn't go to school the next day because I just felt like garbage. And when I came back, that might have been like the weekend. That might have been like a weekend. So I didn't go anyway. But when we went back, and then we like went outside again, like later, the teacher's like, "Okay, new rule. No one is allowed to play on the bleachers. You can sit, but you cannot be running. You cannot be like jumping. That you can't do that." So I created a new rule to the school, which I was kind of proud of. I do remember there was this one girl. Her name was Joy, or her real name was Constance, but she absolutely hated that name to the point where she would like cry if you called her that. And shockingly, even in Christian school, there's bullies and mean people, and I was really bullied. Like really, I was a pretty outgoing kid. Before I went to private school, and by the time I left there, I was just like, I hated talking to people. Like even like going up to like the McDonald's counter and ordering my own food terrified me. It was a complete 180. there was this one girl who, and she was like, you know, she didn't have it. I mean, I don't know. Her mom seemed okay, but you know, you never know what these kids are going through. And we would talk sometimes, but it wouldn't be that much. And one day I just kind of asked her, I was like, hey, can I ask you, why don't you like your name? Because I mean, honestly, like Constance, I mean, it's not the prettiest name, but it's not like, you know, I wouldn't cry over it like the way she did. Just you know, that's like the young, that's like the 8-year-old me saying that, and I guess that's how old I am now. I'll put that there, I guess. And I forget what she said, but I was like, and I know she said at one point it was her grandmom's name, and like she lost her grandma. I kind of looked at her, and I was like, wait, so wouldn't you be like proud of that name, or something like that? And she kind of looked at me and she was like, oh, I never thought of that. I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, you know, I don't know, I would be proud of that name. And I think like it took some time, but afterwards she didn't get as, I think she still wanted to be called Joy, because I think she got just used to it, but she never really got, she like slowly she got like less and less like upset when somebody called her that. And it was kind of like it all came up to a head when the yearbooks came out, and they called her that in the yearbook, and she didn't really mind, and I was like, oh, that's cool. There was another girl who I do wonder what happened to her. I didn't really have any guy friends in the school. They all kind of wanted to beat me up, unfortunately. Mind you, I had buck teeth. I just looked weird, and also I kind of went through puberty pretty early. I started like puberty in 3rd grade. So I had like the voice, like I know my voice sounds bad. I know it sounds feminine. I sounded like I was on helium, feminine helium back then. So that looks ugly. No. So you know, I didn't have that many guy friends. There was this one girl. Her name was Ashley. She was super. That's not how science is built. No, sort of. She was super nice, and like I met her in it was either second or no, it had to be. I guess it had to have been 2nd grade, because I knew her too well in 4th grade to like that. Oh, that's my first time ever meeting her, and she had a lot of like medical issues. Where like, you know, I don't remember her even being in school during like 3rd grade. And then she like came in halfway through the year in 4th, or 2nd or 4th. I think both technically. Can I grab you? Can I grab you? Why is the thing for that? Why is that so big? Why can't I grab you from up here? That makes no sense. And she had like a lot of issues, especially with her legs. So like, you ever see like an older person, like they have like that like limp? She had it all the time, and like it took her like twice as long to do anything. And I just like felt like so. Not actually a good idea. I hit the escape button by mistake. I just felt so like, I guess, endeared to her that like, I don't know. It was weird. I didn't have a crush on her. She's not. You know, now she's not, definitely not my type. But back then, she wasn't really my type either. But it would be like, you know, in like elementary school, you would have you would have like the teacher would sometimes put the desk in like unique ways just for fun, like either all of them in like a giant U or to be four together because you know you could do that back then. So like she would do that, and I don't know, she would always put me and this girl together, Ashley, and there'd be some times where like I would feel Ashley put her feet on top of mine. And it wasn't like a playful thing. Like it was very, very clear she didn't know what she was doing, or she just needed the room to like for her legs. And you know, I wouldn't say anything because I'm like, you know, I know, you know, your legs really just like I guess like the best way to be like they fucking suck. And it's like, you know, if you need to stretch them, and if my legs are there, and it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me. And I'm happy because her mom and my mom were friends, so we would get to hang out outside of school too. There we go. And it was one time, it was like a field trip. We went to some kind of park. I forget. I honestly, I forget. And there was one thing where you had to like, it was like a tree that you would go up. It was like a fake tree. You'd go up from the inside, and there's a ladder, and then you'd go down the slide. And it was her in front of me. She tried to go up, but she just couldn't do it. So like and so like, you know, I let her go down, and there's just like this asshole kid who's like, what, she can't do it? I'm like, no, or like, you know, she has issues. And it's just like, dude, shut up. Because, you know, she didn't go, I didn't go on the slide because I just, you know, I didn't want to. So you got to be on the slide faster. Just, you know, good for you. But obviously, you know, just people move on, and you know, you just kind of lose touch. But I think like overall, she was probably like my closest friend there. Like I really did not have any friends at that place. And I was like, there's this one girl who was like in 5th grade who was just like hardcore bullying me and taking advantage of the fact that I was like really naive about the world. Looking back, like, it's one of those things where like I would love to go back in time in my like 8-year-old body, because now it's like looking back, I can guess that that girl probably was, you know, she didn't have the best home life, and I would have loved to just hone in on that and be like, you know, like, karma's a bitch. I should have known better. Or you should have known better. You know, just Jojo Siwa her. All over the place. But yeah, so I know I talked about it for a second. The headaches. Now, it wasn't that bad in 2nd grade. But then when 3rd grade happened, I started getting headaches. And I don't know why it's there. And like it would be, it just got worse and worse and worse. And I would be like, okay, so I would get to school. The school ran from like 7 to 2. So I would get to school, which the bus wouldn't go to my neighborhood. So my mom would have to take me to like I think like a Walgreens nearby, and then she would have to pick me up from there too. It was just like, it was like a 2-minute drive. I'll go to school, and then every single day my bus would be the last bus to arrive, and they would be late every single day for almost like half an hour to like 40 minutes because they had like another thing they had to do. So by the time I got on the bus, almost every other kid, besides like other people on my bus too, was already home and just like relaxing, all that stuff. So I wouldn't get home until like, I think the latest was almost like 3:30. So like an hour and a half. It was bad. And then, my mom would I would have a snack. Normally it would be munchkins. Wait, no, technically not munchkins, donut holes, because we had Edmonds. Actually used to live near an actual like bakery of them. So my mom would actually go there, and in the back is where they would bake all the stuff. And I would get like their donut holes. And if you ever have them, try to find it. It's hard to find now because everything sucks. But they're the ones that have the sprinkles on them. Get the chocolate ones with the sprinkles and freeze them. They are so good. They are so good frozen. Like I could eat a whole box of them as a kid. And then regret it later, obviously. But I'll go home, have a little snack, do homework. Then there'll be dinner. Then I'll be doing more homework. And I think it got to the point where my parents was like, enough's enough, because it would be like 9:30 at night. I still haven't finished my homework, and it's like 4th grade. And it's that thing where everybody goes through it because like your mom doesn't want to do it. And then your dad just got home from working like 8 hours. So, she's kind of forcing him to help you, and he's getting frustrated at you because you can't figure out what 2 + 2 is because you're just 10. And you're like literally at this kitchen table just crying. And like, I gave up. I did not want to do it. And I was so happy they pulled me out and I went back to public school. Funny thing. So I went back to public school, the same elementary school I went to for kindergarten first. Funny thing. The oranges. The curriculum they had at my private school was like 1 year ahead of the one in public school. So basically everything that they were learning in 5th grade, I already learned in 4th grade. And honestly, it was my best year ever. I got like all A's and like mostly A's and a few B's. There was this one time, it was a proud moment of my life where I think it was like a spelling test. I did good. I got like a 97. Everyone else, I think if I remember correctly, they got like, it was like a 70 or below. It was just like everyone else bombed it. And I was the only one allowed to go out for recess, and everybody else had to stay in and retake the test. And I remember that to that day because, fuck all you. And also, like, you would think that the kids in a public school would be, that's another thing I haven't even touched on, would be like worse behaved. No, I kind of like, if there wasn't a horse feed, the kids in the public school was so much more behaved than they were in the private school. Like in the private school, those kids definitely had like like snobbish complexes. I'll give an example. My 4th grade teacher was an older woman, and her and my mom were like, they're really good friends and stuff. They became good friends, and she was like just a sweet grandmotherly type, like super. And she was like been teaching for like 30 plus years. Like just amazing. Like, one of the things that you would be lucky to have. My class was so bad. And there was this one kid named Kyle. And Kyle's dad was a janitor. And Kyle was a little shit. Like, just a troublemaker. Through and through. And I heard some stuff, and it's like, oh, like, you know, the teacher was picking on him. It's like, no, she wasn't picking on him. He was, all those times he got yelled at, she deserved. Or, yeah. But, and it was already known that the teacher was going to retire after the end of that year. No, she retired, like, January or, like, February or something like that. Because she just didn't like her. She couldn't handle it anymore. Like, the class was so bad. And then we had a substitute for a little bit where it was one of the kids. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing this. It was one of the kids' moms, and I think she, like, her husband did something with the school, the church, so it wasn't just like a random pick. But even then, she wasn't that good because there was, like, blatant favoritism with her, because she would always pick her son to do, like, go to the office or do whatever. She was a fine teacher. I think she used to be a teacher. The only thing I remember was from her, besides all that, is during recess, somebody accidentally kicked a soccer ball into her face, and she was just down for a little bit. And then we got this, like, the actual replacement teacher. I mean, her name was, like, Miss Line, I think. She was the closest thing to an Umbridge I had. And it was like every day she would have the word recess written on the board. And, oh, that's ugly. That needs to go in here. Actually, no, I do like this thing. It's cool. But, you know, it would be in the basement. I like that. And if the class just, if there was, like, a lot of people in the class who were just talking or just, you know, blah, 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 she would erase a letter, and that would be like 5 minutes off of recess. And I think from probably like March until the end of school, we had a full recess like 5 times total. Excuse me. And there was like this other stuff that she would like she was like, she wanted to be like the tough teacher, which, you know, I get, but you can still be a tough teacher and get through to kids. And it's just like, no, you're just like an ass. Like when we used to go out, or we used to like line up for stuff, like I would hum sometimes. And I wouldn't hum anything like bad. Like, you know, I wouldn't start humming like, you know, like Chop Suey, or like, you know, just like Slipknot. I would like be humming like We Are Family from like, you know, what are the Pointer Sisters or whatever. And she was like, stop doing that. That is the devil's music. I'm like, lady, don't tell me what to not hum. Who are you? And like that would piss me off. And she was just, she wasn't fun. She was just mean and nasty. Trying to. And also in private school was the only time I ever got into an actual like fight. It wasn't even a fight, to be honest. I was waiting for my bus again, and it just so happened that another group was waiting for their bus. And there was this kid in my class named Rob, and he was like, Dan, come to the bathroom. I want to show you something. These days that would be a little sus. So we asked her to the bathroom. She's like, yeah, sure. Because where we'd have to wait for the bus, it would be basically the cafeteria, and there's like a bathroom right there. So we go in there, and the kid tries to give me he's in my class too. He's not older. He tries to give me a swirly. Which I applaud the I can't say it's original, But it's like, you know, who actually attempts to do that? So, you know, I have to give a little props there. That just, yeah, they're all just, huh. Now something I can't say it these days, but something that wasn't, I guess the kids didn't realize that I looked a lot weaker than I was. So to me, I think he just saw, oh, this is easy. This is gonna be an easy thing. I can give him a swirly, and we can make fun of him. No, that wasn't the case. I was able. I mean, like, I think he. I mean, I will say he tricked me to like actually looking down into the toilet. I can't deny that. I got bamboozled. You know, it happens. I was a kid. But like he's like legit trying to force me down to my head in the toilet. And I just kind of like stand up and I push him away, and then we start like just choking each other. He was getting a little weak, so I was doing better. But then we heard the door open and we just stopped immediately. We just kind of just left. That was it. That was the end of it. But yeah, I left. I was just in public school the rest of the time, which I liked so much better. Actually had friends. Well, people who I thought were my friend. Well, that's wrong too. Even if they didn't consider me a friend, it was a lot better than the private school. Like I was actually invited to some places, and like, you know, people, like I was able to hang out with people. Oh damn, that was a. Can I? No. Come on. If only I could lower this, because that would look so perfect if I could like put it onto the vent itself. Let me think. 5th grade, I didn't. Okay, so 5th grade, I didn't technically have that many friends, but only because like I was like, again, the technical new kid, and there wasn't anybody that I remember in my class. I was in a special program in 6th grade because I had an issue. I still do technically. Where I don't handle change that well. And I just didn't think I was ready for, like, because in 6th grade is when you start like doing like going to different periods and classes. They just didn't think I was ready for that. So I was in this like, it wasn't like a special class. It was they taught everything normally, but it was just all in one class. Was it a special? I don't. No, like I learned everything else everybody else learned, so it wasn't like I wasn't in like a special class. Well, I don't. Yeah, whatever. Which overall I did enjoy, because the kids in there were just fun. It was a fun class. And then 7th grade, I did not like 7th grade. All I remember was there was one teacher who always just nitpicked everything that everybody did, and then it was the only time where like we went on a field trip, and they legit wanted us to do schoolwork on the field trip, and it's like, no, ew, I don't know, 7th grade wasn't that fun. 8th grade, though, is when I actually kind of started. I never, quote unquote, came into my own, but the remnants of what I am today started to come out. And, there was this one guy and home in my he was in my homeroom, my math class, I think my math class, lunch and gym, who I like. It was the first time I legit had like a crush on somebody, and like that crush lasted until like we graduated high school. He was just so cute and just like, you know, sweet, and just like he was like kind of like everything I wished I was in a way. And like just good for you, you know, like. But it was so funny too, 'cause he wasn't even like, we didn't have that much in common. But I started to hang out with like the skaters, and we would be on the back, and like, you know, I'd have like the kid, like the long hair and the spikes and all that stuff, like the punk skaters and stuff. And it was just, I just enjoyed it. It was like fun. And this was like this was like the big time when, like Jackass was on, and like Viva La Bam and all that stuff. And it was just like, you know, it was like so cool. I was definitely like there's like tiers, like levels to it. I was never in like the in part of the group, but like let's say the in part was like the S tier. I was probably like in the beat C tier. So like I was there, and I was acknowledged, but I wasn't just like, you know what I mean. A weird rumor though was this kid. I don't know how he's doing. He was kind of cool. The kid named like John. There's like a rumor that says like he like broke my nose one time, and it's like we never really hung out, and the only times I ever saw him was like if we were with other people, and like I would talk to the people, but not really him. But yeah, like that was like, and I would remember if somebody like broke my nose. Unless I do have amnesia, I do sometimes don't breathe right, and I mean, did he? No, I don't remember that. And my mom would have told me that anyway, definitely. Oh, she wouldn't let me live that down. Oh, no. Where can I put you? These things are full. I'll put you right here, and I'll move that up. And I was like, you know, I was pretty much friends with skater kids 7th and 8th grade. Well, 8th grade, and then because 9th you go into high school, I didn't really have any friends 9th grade. It was like a transition year because everybody was in different classes. 10th grade, I started hanging out with like the anime gamer, like nerds and geeks, and I still had like a little trickling of the skaters. And then it kind of just slowly morphed into just the anime and like those kind of people. 10th grade was really good. I did not like 11th grade. 11th grade sucked because I didn't have anybody in my classes for the most part. And then 12th grade, well, I mean, it's your senior year, so, you know, everything's kind of just fun. If I remember correctly, went to school. So where I lived back, I don't know if they do it anymore. I don't think they do. We had something called HESPA, which was like a standardized test. And I'm going to switch. And you had to, it was like basically like math and English. And I was always bad at math. And you had to pass both of them to graduate. So I passed English with pretty flying colors. But I failed the math. So I had to go to like a special math class. And in my school, you had to take English all 4 years and you had to take gym all 4 years. So when I started senior year, I had what was my first? I don't think my first I don't think my first period was my first period gym? I think it no. Yeah, I think first period was gym, which was lovely. Second period was math. Third was I know second period was math. First and third might be switched. But I had nutrition, aka cooking, which I try to get every single year, but I could never get it. But I finally got it senior year because I think the seniors kind of get priority for that elective since it's so popular. And then I had lunch. Actually, no. Cooking was first because I wouldn't have lunch and then cooking right next to each other. Cooking, math, gym, lunch. I think I had another elective and English. And then eventually we took the test, got passed it, and then that just turned into a study hall. So, well, no, I didn't have another elective. I didn't do shit my senior year. I'm trying to think though. But yeah, like pretty much, like I said, I think I said before, like the high school that I went to ran from like 7 to 2. I pretty much got out like at the near the end of it. I got out at like noon every day, so it was nice. Hi, Chris. How are you? Nice emotes. I'm surprised that's allowed. I've been talking about school. How was work in traffic today? Same as normal, or did it get a little better? I'm hoping. Oh. Are these bear things you can't repeat on a Twitch chat? Oh, nice. I did grocery shopping today. So me and my wallet did not have the day off. Oh, Jesus. I'm guessing the and part is wholesome and fun and innocent activities. Family friendly. Yeah, I'm making a basement. Well, you know, it's not in the basement. It's not underground yet, but you know. Oh, but Chris, I wanted to ask you something. Notice my I have a feeling that this gonna be answered to us eventually in the story. Um, what is um what is Samson's like worst day he has ever had while on the force? Like, be it he had to like go to like a crash site where it's like just, you know, really bad, or you know what I mean? Like, are we going to ever explore that? 'Cause I know there was that one scene and we had to go to the I think the guy who like jumped or something, if I remember correctly. I know that wasn't a good day for him, but I'm just curious, like, will we ever like explore that? I don't know what I would be there. Oh Jesus. I see. Oh, I mean, I kind of guessed. So is that gonna be like I guess you can, I guess at this point, so are you gonna try to do a mid thing update, or is that just gonna be like going to the next like, you know, main, like for next month update? Because just say 0.25.1. I keep on getting you guys. No, stop it. Oh, if that wasn't so big, that'd be perfect. Oh my god. What to use? What to use? So, I'm kind of curious. How close are we to actually, like, you know, chapter 3 being over? Like, are we almost are we close to the end of it? Would you say more like halfway? No, honestly, for the life of me, I can't remember when I started actually playing the game, but no, I know I started. Yeah, you have. Especially like last update, there was a lot of like story stuff. But if I remember correctly, I think I started playing it before Samson did his performance with his boys. And I think like with you, it's like there's enough for each update, but then like I always want more, which is something that's a good thing. Because you're just enjoying it. You don't want it to stop. So I think you hit that right. I think you hit that good, like sweet spot there. But I know you've kind of said it too, and I said it like once or twice. Eventually, you're gonna have to, I guess, forego an actual update, so you can like update all the like the gallery and the like the character profiles, because I think it's still like Goliath is still like just question marks in there. I don't know why did I. Oh goodness. Now, obviously, like you're writing the story and stuff. Have you ever thought about like writing a story, as in like doing like an actual like novel version of Stronger Bonds? Why would I put that there? Should there be a sword? No. Put that right there. Like that right there. Okay. Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's true. And it is a shame, because if I knew how to like, I guess, code, because that's what you do, I would totally offer to like help you fix up the like the gallery part or whatever, because I could see it like, you know, you go to the character selection, you know, let's say you hit like, you know, Samson, you hit him, it gives him the information, and it gives like, you know, 1 or 2 updates. So it kind of like it updates, and then you could pick to see, like, he has a little gallery where it shows like him shirtless, then in his like jockstrap, and then like, you know, in the buff. I think that I just like that little stuff, but I know that takes a lot of time. A lot of time and effort and sometimes money, which all that stuff is scarce these days. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. So is there anything, I know no spoilers, but is there anything, you can kind of hint at that you're excited to see, like, the reactions to? Like, I'm pretty sure back in the day, that, like, you know, it's not that old. Oh, Jesus. Before the, like, big performance where Samson and all his boys came out, you were probably, like, excited to see people's, like, you know, reactions to that. Is there anything, like, you know, big coming up in the next, that you hope is coming up, that you're excited for us to experience and see? You know, get the hype out there? Like, will it be something that, you know, I'll be messaging you at like 2 a.m. being like, what the fuck is this? Just like wanting to talk about it. That shouldn't look like that. Ah. I will say, because I really did like last update. My favorite part was just, it's gonna be challenging to say, was like just that long scene of just Mormont in that one position. We just kind of saw everything for like a solid like 2 minutes, and he's just like, like nothing's happening. He's just like talking, but it's just like stuck on that image. I was like, that's kind of funny, and it was, you know, it was a nice view. We need more views like that. Oh yeah, no, I can't do that. Oh, so I know I did mention it the other day to you, but you did. I mentioned that one of your characters was in my dream, And you did guess Andrew, which I said that was close, but not exactly. And you know, I've had a few dreams of like, I guess like furry characters, but this one was like the most like perfectly realistic, where it was like you could definitely see like this in real life. Like it wasn't too cartoony, but wasn't like so realistic it looked weird. And I'll say it was one of the rhinos. And that's cute. Oh, goodness. Nope. You, no, you never mentioned. But it's not Bill. And that doesn't really leave much money others. Although if you know, if the dream gods are listening, I wouldn't mind Bill, you know, showing up in a dream, or Andrew. I would like to meet them all. They all seem like very nice, friendly, giant rhinos. If I had to be honest, I think, like, in real life, I would probably get along with, in order, I would get along with, I think, Nick the best, then Andrew, then Bill, then Samson, and then Tommy. And it only would be like that because, and I would say maybe like Harry fourth. It'd only be like that because, like, Samson is like that adult that I'm kind of like nervous around. You know what I mean? And Tommy is just, I would be too afraid to actually talk to him, even though like once we were friends, you know, he would be like he's definitely like a ride or die kind of guy. But I would just be like too nervous to actually talk to him. Because however, if they all showed up on my doorstep and like, hey, we need to there's no time to explain, but we need to just be in your house with no clothes on for a while, I'd be like, well, you know, out of the kindness of my own heart, by all means. What? I can dream. I have been dreaming. I wish I had more dreams. I would like to think, and I hope this makes you feel better. If we had the technology to actually record our dreams, I have a feeling that a lot of your characters would be in mine. At least in the fun ones. I'm pretty sure I also have a lot of sad ones these days too, but we're not going to talk about those. We're going to keep this up. We're going to keep this the spirit uplifted and happy-ish. Wait, what's that? oh god, I'm confused now. Well, I mean, come on, with how much like I talk about your story and how much like I annoy you with it. You know, it's not. Yeah, I mean, you have to remember, you know, especially since my mom passed away, I've been like literally alone. So it's like, I know it's sad to think, but I almost consider like the story as my friend, like they're my friends. And it's just like something for me to enjoy that doesn't like make me just depressed. Ooh, oh my god, that's, oh Jesus, okay, that's not going anywhere. Also, if you want me to think more, I'm not trying to be that person, but you haven't teased me in a while with any why does this have to happen to me? With any art. And I haven't been able to guess anything in a while. And I think I don't know, I feel lucky today. I think I could do that. Okay. I know there's not gonna be anything here really, but I'm still gonna. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have stuff that I still haven't gotten yet. You can go back to. Well, I mean, I hate to say it because it's just making me just look bad, but like, let's be honest, most of the stuff you have actually teased me with, I still haven't gotten yet. So you can just pick something if you want to, of course. Or if you have I know once in a while you like to I will say my favorite thing is when you actually tease me with canon stuff. That's fun. Cause then it gets my mind thinking of like, ooh, what is this? When is this gonna happen? Why is this like this? Why are they bent that way? I can't wait until I start my own visual novel and I can tease you with stuff. But also, I would probably be way too excited and I'll just tell you anyway. Like... Oh, goodness. I think I'm pretty much done. I'm just looking through the debug section. Why stay? No, damn it. Wait, right there. That looks dumb. I will say, because right now I am trying to save money and not be, you know, super spendy. But I am still so undecided of like who I want to be in my picture next. Cause I don't, obviously it's probably gonna be Andrew, but also I don't want to, I do want to have the horses too. Oh, ooh. Usually these don't fit perfectly, but this one does. Does that look dumb though? I don't think so. I like that. But I can't use that one though. Cause you should do a little scene where I guess my question is, out of all of Samson's kids, which one would you see most likely like live stream? Cause I think it would be a fun idea if what is this? Oh. I think it would be a fun idea if like one of the kids like they like live stream and stuff, and Samson like kind of just goes on one of the live streams for fun. And maybe he like, I don't know, just the chat is like, oh, flex your muscles, and yeah, just like, or make your pecs dance, do stuff that would probably get you banned from Twitch. Luckily they don't have Twitch, and I'm pretty sure they would use a different streaming service in Kinoff. I could see it I'm trying to think which one's that one. Because the only ones I remember is the one with the like the antelope, I think, and then the Thor one. Unless that one hasn't really technically come out yet, or it could be an old one. I don't know. Fuck. But honestly, I know it's not. I know it probably wouldn't be him, but I think it would be super cute if it was Nick. And it's so funny because Nick's not my type voiceover, but I want more content of him. I want to see him more with Samson. I just want to see the small purple rhino happy. Also the full spread of him in the buff. Which, obviously who doesn't want to see that at this point? Alright, so wouldn't have carpet. What would this have? I guess it looks good, I guess, right? Yeah. I still say that the little tease you did of like Nick's I think like his nude sprite. That's probably been like my favorite tease you've done so far. Cause like it does exist. Oh, that looks dumb. Just with that part. Alright, so oh goodness. That's two. Yeah. Actually, let me do that. Then there we go. But all right, I think this is done for the most part. Actually, put you right there. Just do some edits real quick. What the? Oh, really? Huh, okay. Did not know that. Oh, evil plan? What do you mean evil plan? What sucks too is like I could just say no, whatever you're doing, and be like, no, I don't enjoy this whatsoever, and you would know that I'm just lying. Alright, so I have one more idea I want to do, which I think should be fine. Hopefully it works out. Oh, Jesus, not that. Alright. Because I want this place to have a little bit of use. So I'm gonna do some laundry. Let me just... Okay. Alright. A little bit of laundry right there, I think. Now where would it go? Oh. Oh, goodness. There we go. Let me just... Crows. I'm just checking. Did you send me anything? Because it's how you worded that just made it sound like you were gonna send me something, or... Yeah. Unless you're just trying to find it right now. I don't know. Oh, ooh, later. How fun. Thank you for being so considerate about me streaming. You know, I am about to get off. I've been pretty much building. Oh, ooh, okay. So it's an evil plan that was hatched, and you have to actually still do it. I like this poster. No, actually, I'll put you right there. And you guys can go, if I can see, right there. No. Right there. I just need light, which I think I'll put... So I want this room. Oh, goodness, 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 goodness. But, alright, so this is probably the first... Oh, I need to change that. It's probably the first room I've actually fully decorated. Not... well, yeah, I'll put that. I fully decorated on stream. And... I'm proud of it. So, let's see here. Oh, right. Oh, stupid. Let's put you like that. Okay, that makes it... Okay, yeah, see, I can... Oh, I lost... Okay, I lost all my stuff there. Damn it. So... Let me see. Now I had, I think, you... Had... Put you right there. You right there. Right there's good. And I think... Ooh, wait a second. I have one more idea. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Can't. Oh. All right. So one more thing. Ooh, I'd love to add this. This would look fun down here, but that's not gonna fit anywhere. I guess you. No, not you. You. I could put you. No, wait, right here. Why not? All right, cool. That's it. Room's done. All right, so oh. Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, okay. Of course. One room, I use all this stuff. But what can you do? But all right. I need to actually let the dog out. I need to eat dinner. And well, yeah, pretty much. So obviously, Chris, I will, you know, I'll be on Telegram. So if you want to talk more or, you know, tease or whatever, I'm more than happy to always accept that. Always accept talking to you and enjoying the time. But yeah, I'm gonna get off. I'm surprised I was on. I'm surprised I was on this long just to do this one. Some people can do an entire house in 3 hours. I did one room. I don't know what that says about me. But all right, I should be on tomorrow at some point. I hope you have a good rest of your night, and I will see you later. All right, have a good one.